How to 2 to 5x your Shopify store's conversion rate in 2024 if you have more than 10,000 monthly visitors. Your conversion rate sucks, and here's the brutal truth why. If your store has around 10,000 visitors and around 100 purchases, that's 1% conversion rate. You have some traction, now you don't know how to increase it. Here's the step by step process that I would take to increase any store's conversion rate. Step 1. Make sure the Step 1. Make sure that the data implementations are in place. Number 1. Google Analytics for data analysis. This will provide all the data that you need to understand where the users are landing, which are the most visited pages, the number of product views, add to cart, begin checkout, purchases, etc. It just gives you an overall view of how users are using your website from a data perspective. Number 2. Microsoft Clarity, used for heat maps and session recordings. This will give us a visual representation of how the users are navigating your site and where the users are interacting with, elements users are trying to interact with but are static. Number 2. Microsoft Clarity for heat maps and session recording. This will give us a visual representation of how the users are navigating your site, where the users are interacting with, elements users are trying to interact with but are static, etc. Number 3. Sentry.io for JavaScript errors. There are some situations where users might face some issue which we are not getting on our end. Sentry.io is used in those situations to figure out exactly where those errors are and what are the steps that the users took to get those errors, so we can also replicate it and solve it. Step number 2. Make a funnel in Locus Studio and understand the flow of the users. We have 5 events that we are going to track. First, session start, triggered when the user lands on any page. Second, view product, triggered when users views a product. Third, add to cart, triggered when a product is added to cart. Begin checkout, triggered when users clicks on the checkout button. And number 5, purchase, triggered when the user completes the flow. After making a funnel in Looker Studio with the 5 events above mentioned, we can understand where the drop in the funnel is happening. For example, in this image we can see that the highest drop is happening from view product to add to cart. Now once we understand where the drop is happening, we can find the why by analyzing heat maps, session recordings and surveys to figure out why the users are not added to cart. Once we figure out why the drop is happening, we can move on to the next step. Step 3. Implementing the findings. In this step, we are going to make modifications based on the data we found in the previous step. For example, in this case, we understand that the PDP is not optimized and a lot of conversion elements were missing. Hence, we redesigned and implemented. The changes that we made includes making the image with full screen. Images will become full screen when the user clicks on the image. Removing the thumbnail images. We are showing 90% of the first image, giving a slight peek into the next image so users can understand that more than one images is present. Number 3. Move the size filter to the top. The size selectors are moved to the top so users can see what the options are available. Number 4. Mention the USPs. State what makes your product different from other products in the market. Number 4. Add a subtle button for bulk buy. This brand is more currently catering towards B2B businesses, hence we have added it also. And number 6, adding a sticky add to cart button. So these are the 6 changes that I think making can help increase the conversion rate for this site.